All right, welcome back. I'm Chef Steve Alls, and with me is Kroger Chef Emerald Coleman. Chef, duck is one of those ingredients that not too many of people are familiar with. We carry duck at Kroger.
We sure do.
Why did you decide to use duck today, other than the Asian thing I know?
Well, duck a lot in Asian cooking. I grew up going duck hunting just down here in Bedford, Virginia. We'd float to James and take a few duck home and have them, and that's how I grew to love duck. Of course, we didn't prepare it in an Asian manner. We had different ways to fix it.
In salt and pepper in the oven.
On the grill is where we had it. But the duck breast is probably my favorite. Short of duck confit, the duck breast is my favorite piece of the duck to use because it's got that nice thick layer of fat that's just so buttery that gives that duck breast so much flavor, and it has a dense consistency. It's almost like a steak. Duck breast is when you cook it.
Well, it's the color of steak anyway.
It is. It's the color of steak. It has the consistency of a steak, so it's almost not like having bird at all. And we have it at our Kroger. I know that we carry whole duck and the duck breast. The duck breast is a new product for us, and I just wanted to kind of showcase it a little bit today.
All right. Okay. Well, let's get started on this thing.
Here we go. First thing we're going to do is make a marinade. It's an orangey ginger marinade. This is kind of like a poor man's duck l'orange, if you will. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the zest of
I got your bag right here. We're going to marinate in, right?
Right. I like those bags for marinating in. Zest of 1 orange. We're going to put quite a bit of ginger in there, about an inch, half an inch to an inch off of a knuckle of ginger, chopped up real nice and fine. Then we're going to put the juice of one of the orange that I zested, and a half a cup extra of juice in there. Gives us a nice marinade. And then just some roughly chopped onions. And they're going to give a nice flavor. It's not going to be a real strong oniony flavor, but just a mild tint.
A savory flavor.
A savory flavor. That's exactly right. So that's what we got as far as that's concerned. To prepare our duck breast.
Boy, that is a beautiful piece of duck, isn't it?
Beautiful piece of duck here. Nice, thick, fat casing on the outside. We're going to score it.
Now, why are we scoring that, Chef?
We're scoring this because when we put it in the pan to sear it, it's going to release that fat instead of holding it in, and it's going to kind of give us a basting liquid, as you will, to help cook the duck in.
And we don't need any extra oil.
Don't need
when we
any extra
pan sear
oil.
this.
And you'll see we cut this into a diamond shape. That gives plenty of place for the juice to run out.
And it looks purty too.
It does look purty. Now we're going to put that in. Going to seal it up.
There you go. I'll let you do that.
Okie doke. Again, like we showed on the last one, you want to get as much of the air out as possible. So just press it down. Don't be scared. And then just roll it around a little bit and get it ready to go into that screaming hot pan.
That's a nice smell of marinade, let me tell you.
Well, smell-o-vision hadn't come around yet, so I wish we could do that. Now, I marinated one of these overnight. You need to let that marinate a minimum of 2 hours, 5 hours preferably, and overnight is even better.
Yeah, overnight definitely. I bet you will seep right into that meat.
That ginger flavor really comes out when you do that overnight. Now we're going to take the duck right out of here. This is a huge
show our viewers how that scored, how that did with that marinade.
See how it separated out there? It allowed all that marinade to get right down into the duck. We're going to put it fat side down first into a screaming hot pan.
And we were talking before, it's almost like the oil that comes out of the fat. It's almost too much.
It is almost too much, but by the time we put it in the oven for a few minutes and bring it out, once we finish the dish off, we're going to take some of those juices and put it right over top of the dish on top of the salad that we're getting ready to make. And it really accentuates the flavor of this dish. It really does. So we're going to let that brown and get nice and scorched on that backside. It'll take just probably about 2 to 3 minutes in the pan to get a nice browning and a little crust.
Caramelization on top.
Absolutely, if you will.
It's the greatest miracle in cooking, man.
It really is. While we're waiting on that, I got to say hello to my granddaughter. Michaela, I love you, darling. She really jumped on me after the last show for not saying hello. So
now this needs a couple of minutes on this side to really get that color, correct?
It sure does. We're going to go ahead and flip it. But as you'll see,
oh, that's pretty.
We already have a nice color on that. We're going to sear it on the bottom side for just about 2 more minutes. Then we're going to put it in a 350-degree oven, and it's going to stay in there for about 7 to 8 minutes, depending on the size of your duck breast.
Medium rare?
Medium rare, even rare. If you like rare beef, you'll like rare duck. You know, duck doesn't have an overly strong flavor. It really doesn't have a wild flavor. It
kind of
really
takes whatever you put into it on the marinade
exactly,
and seasonings.
Exactly. So I think we're safe to go ahead and put that in. And while you put that in the oven, I'm going to start showing them how to prepare the salad that goes with it.
And I wanted to say, this is an awesome kitchen to work in, isn't it?
It absolutely is.
How'd you like to have this set up in your house?
You know, I'd like to have this set up in my house, where I work, you know, anywhere. This Foodies has done a great job of setting up the kitchen for what they use it to do.
Yeah, Foodies does a lot of cooking classes, so if you're looking to upgrade your culinary knowledge, good place to come. Check us out online. I
looked over their curriculum for the classes that they have going on now. It's very extensive. I was impressed. I was really impressed. I'm going to go ahead and start. First thing we're going to start with is an onion. We're going to take the tops and the bottoms off. We're going to cut it in half. And then we're going to slice it into half moons. Fairly thin slices.
Yeah, I think thin would probably be better here.
Not overly thick. It's important to have a sharp knife in any cooking that you do. You know, when you use a duck, you might want to have a splatter screen, because I'm getting a little splatter right there on
my bald head right now. I know you're getting it too.
Well, between the two of us and these lights, they might want to wear sunglasses.
Yeah, well, it's taking the glare down, you know.
Yes. So we're just going to slice this up. We're going to put this, I have a bowl over here.
You're just going to kind of shingle that on the plate?
We are. I think you can go ahead and throw that in the oven.
Yep, let's put this in the oven.
And the next thing we're going to do is prepare our orange for the salad. This is a real easy little salad to make. We're going to take the top and bottom off again, and we're going to peel the orange by coming around on the side.
That's just a very easy way of peeling an orange.
It sure is.
Instead of buying the mandarin oranges in the can, just do this. It's just, the taste is so amazing from a fresh orange.
You want to be sure to get all that white pith out, because that pith is very bitter.
I guess you can always just kind of trim it up there if you've got some left on there.
Now we're going to cut this one in half. I think we'll use this side and finish trimming that pith off. Man, can you hear that, Duck?
I do it, and it smells like Christmas around here, man, with that orange.
And we're going to slice this in half moons just like we did those onions.
So this orange, naturally, you cut it, all its juice will come out, and it'll kind of marinate the onion a little bit.
It will, and
make a little salad with it.
I'm going to add just a touch of sea salt on that, and that'll help bring out some of that orange juice right quick. There you go. And that's all we need right there.
What do you think about our duck?
Private selection. I think we're ready. Get this plate here.
There we go. Now we just really have to plate it up now, don't we, Chef?
We just have to plate it up. I'll tell you, I've got some rice and snow peas to serve this with over here. If you'd go ahead and
I'll go ahead and put
that
that on
up
the
for
plate.
me, I'd appreciate it. You want to let this duck rest for just a few minutes before you slice it, just like you want to let any piece of meat that you're cooking rest before you slice it. It allows those juices to settle back down into the middle, because when they heat, they all come to the outside. So you really want to let them rest and go back down into the middle, and that's going to give you a really nice and moist piece of meat. Now we're going to slice this on the bias. Leave that fat cap on. Boy, look at that.
Look at that.
Is that perfect or what?
Wow. And that's like a perfect medium rare to medium right there, isn't it?
That's exactly right. You know, you're going to have to fight me over this.
I don't think I could take you on this one, man. You got that crazed look in your eye.
I do have that crazed look. That stays there all the time, though, Chef, you know. My friends will tell you. And this duck breast is big enough, actually, that we could serve 2 people with this duck breast.
I was going to say, that's a big piece of duck.
What I'm going to do here now is we're going to start with this. We're going to layer our onions right underneath here, like that. Then we're going to shingle our oranges right up there, like that. Touch more sea salt.
Then I guess that duck's just going to shingle right on top of there, isn't it? Man, that is pretty. Look at that.
Right on top of there like that. And there you have it.
You guys see that? Wow.
That is a wonderful dish.
Good job on that, Chef. Looks great. When we come back, this banana dessert we're going to make is sure to be a big hit at your next dinner party. Stick around, everybody.